I want to see movies of my dreams. I'd really prefer to see the movie of my dream from just 2 nights ago. The one that I've been referring to as my occult dream. Sequence 1. As I was driving down a common road in my common town, I passed a common church, known as the Church of the Nazarene. It's actually grown and expanded with new sections of buildings and colorful signage. This particular church I speak of has no cemetery, yet there were large monuments and gargoyle-esque statues that began to move as I drove by. I remember vividly letting go of my steering as I rolled past, and upon seeing this miracle unfold, I was injected with joy and passion. So much that it lifted me in dream sequence out of my seat, upwards through the roof of my car. I began to applaud the moving dead. In a later section of the dream, the bulk of the dream, I was greeted by another mass movement of undead, a type of scare-mare scene that was taking place in front of an abandoned theater here in town. For reference, in the 1980s, this place, the Fort Cinema, was the movie theater to go to. It included drive-in. It was daytime, as was Sequence 1. I would guess in 2 p.m. vicinity, and hysteria was abound. Young boys were covered by gravel, large stones, all of light color, and abandoned automobile hoods and metal in an attempt to spook young passerbys. Use of walkie-talkies to get characters in place, I do recall. I remember hearing my name of Caleb being shouted a few times, and next I ended up inside of the building. There were many teenage boys dressed in black shirts and pants, and I was complimented later for my shirt, which was solid white, except for an imprint of Danzig in black. There was one woman who was the leader of the house/cult, and she was very proper and crisp in appearance. Best I can offer is Madonna, circa Vogue. This woman had an intense blonde bob cut and was extremely attractive in her early 40s. She was discussing with one of the young boys his lack of participation in eating some type of animal wings. He proceeded to get a plaque of various wing sets from a nearby hallway that in dream sequence I followed. And he grabbed a black pair from this series of wing sets that could have belonged to a common crow. At this point, the tamed leader, woman, called for 3 small puppies who appeared, and all seemed to have been shaven in some sort, almost hairless, like she was attempting to show me her love for animals. What may have been the same young boy asked me if I would like to see his girlfriend's pussy. Myself, the leader lady, this young boy, and his girlfriend entered another room that was set in bedroom standard, but darkened. The young boy was quite excited as the leader opened a cabinet and removed a large knife with a very wide blade. The boy began to tremble, and he muttered, "I've never been in here for this," to me in secrecy. The leader did pass several flirty glances that made me feel as if I was given a very royal treatment, or being witness to things that had not been shown to anyone before. Moments passed, and the young girl appeared, though she had never left in a dream sequence. The young girl appeared with a series of fresh cuts on her torso and belly. She was fully nude. The cuts were dirty, not so much bleeding as they were rubbed over with soil like coffee grounds in colors of red and black, the one most prominent design being a cross outline with 2 matching angled cuts at like 45-degree angles on the upper right side. I inquired for the design and was simply told Greek. At this time I felt my skin irritated and noticed that my arms had small slices all over them, as though I had been subject to many kittens' new nails in play. The young woman who had just been cut offered to me her open wounds and a hug, and made her way into sharing the red and black of her body with mine. I felt offended, but openly caressed her. The leader lady was never out of her element. Her appearance never showed any errors or filth. I'm drawn to the memory of her now wearing a sweater in cream color made of possibly cashmere or fleece. There is a vague memory of me beginning to discuss the type of cuts I would get, but nothing evolved. Moments later, as we sat in an open room that would appear to be the dining area, it was much lighter, opened windows. I was offered a glass of something cloudy and lime green color from the leader. I accepted it, but do not recall drinking it. I offered a compliment on the room's design, but retracted my statement immediately afterwards. I did begin now to wander through the house, which I was quickly grabbed and kissed by another young lady. who I recall having dark hair, that caused me to drop my glass, which I caught between my legs, but then allowed to drop to the floor. There was eye contact between me and this young lady, like she wanted me to allow the drink to fall. It may have broken or spilled, but I do not recall. We immediately entered another bedroom that was occupied by two boys who were doing nothing in particular. They were just standing kind of alone to the side. We may have kissed. I have no idea. It was just another series that involved me and a young boy more overweight than any of the previous persons I've met. And in this room was a series of occult figures and devices. He immediately pointed out a skull on his wall that spoke to him. To me, it just turned into static, like as in a television. His ceiling light lowered and revealed like a chain, a circle almost of knives, and a few large ruby crystals. All of these items came within breath of touching or cutting me. The crystals actually fell to the carpeted floor but did not break. Another young man, a black boy, entered the room, and the two boys shared a smoke of what could have been a joint, but it was made of clay, as my dream zoom revealed. The final section of the dream was a night sequence at a very large graveyard. It was very, very vast. There was more moving statues and ghosts, very active, of what had to have been thousands of persons involved. Lighting was created only by the halo of that which was moving, but I could see everything and a pretty good surrounding. Very vast, very nightmarish, yet I was in flight above most of the horror. There were multiple hills, various dead trees, trees that were not only dead but broken in the center, actually hollowed out, and lots of black. Felt like I was in this environment for the longest period of the dream and witnessed at least a circular mile of hilly chaos. It was not horroring to me at all. It was actually accepted and quite amazing. I felt safe with no guide but myself.